feeling very, very, very unmotivated at the moment, which I feel at this time every year. I just haven't painted anything really significant since mid-December, and I'm in holiday mode, and I don't know, I just can't be bothered. But at the same time, I kind of do feel like painting something, so I'm gonna try and do a little oil painting today. We'll see how it goes. So it's January 2022. It's a new year, and I know that a lot of people around this time are like super motivated about setting goals and plans for the new year, and setting their intentions and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not really a goal setting kind of person. I don't know. I find that I just don't stick to them. So I kind of stopped setting those sorts of, yearly goals a while ago, where you sort of start of the year saying, oh, I'm going to do this year, and stick with it. So I don't really have any of those to share, this being the first video of the year, but I did want to talk about a few things that I do plan on doing a bit different this year, and what I'm hoping I do more of. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today in this first video of 2022. And I'm just going to share some footage of me painting this hydrangea in oil paint. This is water-soluble oil paint. I'm using the Winsor & Newton and also the Cobra oil brands. And I did record this full demonstration, and it's now available on my Patreon. So there's a link in the description to my Patreon account. And if you join up to the Watch and Learn tier, you get access to this full-length demonstration and also other demonstrations that I've done previously, and I try and put on at least one full-length demonstration each month. So if you join up my Patreon, then you can see that over there. I do also have this particular demonstration on Skillshare. I added that recently as well. Usually the Patreon demonstrations are exclusive, but because this is the first one I've done this year, I decided to add it to Skillshare as well. But all the other videos on Patreon are Patreon exclusive ones. So you can head over there and have a look at the full video if you want. But for now, it's just a little bit of a snippet of me working on it. So I don't really have any specific goals in mind for this year, but there are a few things that I am going to change in my work practice, and a few things that I'm hoping to do a bit differently. The main thing that I've decided after a lot of contemplation and thinking is to actually stop doing private commissions. This may seem like a bit of a strange thing for someone that does, a lot of private commissions, but I'm going to explain my reasoning behind this, and it's something that I've been thinking of for a while now. So I've been working as a full-time artist since 2013, 2014, and the majority of my sort of work early on was a lot of commissions. I sort of built up a big following and a fan base, and I got stuck into doing a lot of private commissions because of that. And at the time, it was great because, private commissions, they do have their benefits. I know ahead of time how much income I'm going to have that month. I know, I've got things that I can plan ahead. And most of the time, I've really enjoyed doing them. It hasn't really been a struggle. It's not like I've had heaps of, terrible clients. All of my clients have been lovely. I've never really had any huge problems with anybody or anyone, disappointed or being difficult to work with. Nothing like that. It's just, it's been great. And a lot of my income came from that. And so I've been doing them now, for quite a few years. And when I say doing a lot of them, I'd say, there would be at least, on average per month, probably 3 to 4 commissions a month, sort of some of them larger, some smaller. But I would do quite a few. And I sort of, when the whole, coronavirus situation happened, I obviously, living in Melbourne, we had some pretty strong restrictions, and I was sort of forced to stay out of my studio. And I wasn't able to complete a lot of the commissions in the time frame that I, promised. And I did feel a little bit bad about that. But I did in that year catch up doing the commissions. So at the end of the sort of 2020, I ended up spending a lot of time doing commissions at the end of the year to sort of catch up from the ones that I had promised that I hadn't got around to doing. And so I then, in 2021, did some more private commissions at the start of the year, but I sort of felt a bit burnt out from doing them because I did spend a lot of time catching up. So normally I would space out the commissions. Like if I knew ahead of time I had, say, 3 commissions to complete in a 6 to 8 week sort of time period, then I would space them out and make sure that I had plenty of time to do them. Because of all the lockdowns and restrictions and the time I spent out of my studio, I wasn't able to complete them in those timeframes, and so I ended up just doing commission after commission after commission to catch up and to get them all done. And so I did feel quite burnt out from doing so many commissions in such a small amount of time. So it sort of got to about halfway through last year that I decided, when I'd wrapped up a few of the last commissions that I had waiting, I decided to take a break from commissions. And at the time, it was really just to give myself a bit of a mental break, because commissions, they're not difficult to do, but they can be really repetitive, and I sometimes feel as though I am painting the same artwork over and over and over. Generally speaking, commissions are usually based on previous artworks of mine. So the way it happens is a client will see something of mine that they've really liked. That original artwork might be sold, or it might be the wrong size, or, if the colour scheme isn't quite right. So then they'll approach me to make them a personal version of that painting. So often I will be painting the same composition or the same sort of painting repeatedly. And while, it wasn't much of a challenge because I'd already done it, it does get very boring and it does get very repetitive, and I would feel as though my creativity wasn't really being utilised and I wasn't really developing as an artist as much as I wanted to be, because I felt like I was stuck painting the same or very similar artworks over and over again for these private commissions, and they were taking up so much of my time that I wasn't able to actually explore my own creativity as much. So that's why I decided to take a bit of a break, and it was originally just meant to be a bit of a temporary break. I still have quite a lot of people contacting me, asking me for commissions, and I've just been telling them that yes, I'm going to pick them back up again in 2022, and I'll be opening up my commissions bookings again soon. Keep an eye out or join my newsletter and sort of delaying doing it. And now that the new year is here and we're already sort of midway through January, I realise I still have absolutely no desire at all to paint private commissions. So I've just decided, if I'm not enjoying doing them as much anymore, I'm not going to do them. So what that means is that, if you want a private commission, unfortunately at the moment, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to pursue what I want to paint. And it's been a tough decision because, as I mentioned, financially, a good portion of my income each year comes through these private commissions. But at the same time, it's not worth it if I'm not enjoying it, and it's causing me to burn out and to not really want to paint anymore because I'm just sick of doing the same things all the time. And so that's the biggest change that's going to happen this year, is that I'm not going to say a permanent break, but at least for the next 12 months, I'm going to take a break on private commissions. Now, that being said, I am still going to take on commercial commissions. So the difference between a private and a commercial commission, a private is, an individual couple or person coming to me saying they want a painting for their lounge room. A private commission is usually organised by an interior designer or a company, and they will say, hey, we want, X amount of artworks or X amount of prints for this project. So that's the difference between a private and a commercial. And so I will still be taking on commercial commissions and jobs, because I find it much, easier to do that. And usually the commercial jobs, they're not really asking me to repaint the same thing. Usually they've got specific colour schemes or ideas in mind, and I work to that brief. So I'm allowed to be a bit more creative with it. So I do enjoy them a bit more. So I will be doing the commercial ones still, just not individual private commissions. So now that decision has been made, I kind of feel like a bit of weight has been lifted off, and I'm sort of freed myself up to, explore some different ideas and different directions that I'm wanting to go in, because I don't feel as though I have to, keep producing the same artworks anymore. So yeah, that's just, the main decision that I've sort of made for this year so far. I am going to be focusing a lot more on producing content for YouTube and also Patreon and Skillshare. I found that has been a really great way of building up passive income. I wasn't really expecting my YouTube channel to grow as quickly as it had. I sort of started this as a bit of an experiment about 6 months ago, sort of thinking, let me see how this goes. Not really expecting it to grow as quickly as it has. And I'm actually really, really happy to see that in those 6 months, I've already reached almost 5,000 followers. So thank you everybody for joining me here on YouTube. And I'm really, really looking forward to putting out a lot more content on this channel in the coming year. Since I'll have some free time through not doing commissions as much, I'll be able to produce more videos and produce more content and sort of focus a bit more on that side of my artistic, life, I suppose. And yes, that's really exciting. And yeah, also Skillshare classes and my Patreon, as I've mentioned a few times now. I really want to build up the Patreon and create that community of artists and followers that really want to get in depth and watch, more demonstrations and support me as an artist. So yeah, so that's where I am at the moment. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about this. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing you more and spending some more time with you all online. And yeah, that's about all I really had to share. This painting was really fun. This was the first painting I'd done for the year. It really only took about an hour and 20 minutes all up. It's all painted alla prima, obviously, so it is all paint, but it's just all in one go. This is how I prefer to paint. And I am really, really enjoying painting with oil again. So I'm hoping as well this year to sort of push that and start painting some larger pieces in oil. At the moment, most of the artworks I've attempted have been quite small. But yeah, I want to sort of see how I go painting some larger pieces and exploring that more as a medium. And yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will be back again very soon with another video.